Well, hello everybody and welcome in to our Gangs of Wasseypur Part 2 watch along. Stephen, there has been trials and tribulations in the journey to getting this movie in front of us to consume, to actually react to experience. It's been fraught with setbacks and fucking PayPal blockings and VPNs not working, but we got there in the end thanks to Pav in the community, who managed to obtain this movie for us with subtitles that are actually for part 2. And I'm fucking excited to see this movie,
It's
Stephen.
better quality as well than the one we were watching, John.
It is, yeah.
But listen, we'd just like to thank the other people that have obviously in the community that have gave us suggestions on how to access this film as well. Pav contacted us over the weekend and we managed to get a version, you may say.
It's free on YouTube.
Yeah,
I don't know why they don't just make it available.
It's got subtitles. That was the main issue. We could get copies of it. We just couldn't get a copy with English subtitles, but we've got it now.
We have. And of course, Sardar was in a sticky predicament. Stephen got shot to bits.
Yeah.
We're not going to lie. The following 5 minutes or so is going to be a fake reaction. We did see up till the 8-minute mark of this movie.
You just didn't get the dialogue.
No subtitles. We had no fucking dialogue, pretty much. So we know that he's dead. We know he didn't make it, which is tragic, Stephen, because such a divisive character for us. There was moments he was deeply unlikable, but then there was moments where you'd see the caring side of him. He genuinely cared for Dinesh when he was shot. So it's a shame that he's not going to get to see his day with some of these bastards he was coming up against.
Yeah.
But I cannot wait to see the fire it lights in these sons against Sultan.
Well, this is the
and all
thing,
these other
isn't it,
people.
John? This is the thing. It was all building up to that, and I think that's what's going to be the payoff in part 2.
Yep.
You know, people in the community have said this is the part that you want to see. The first part's really just leading up to the sort of main event. I don't mind that because it's gave us a good insight to how these gangs are working in the town, and I think as well, it's given us an insight into the characters and well-rounded characters they are.
Yeah.
John, you did talk about, I think it might have been cut off from our last reaction, you were talking about the ratings, and you are considering changing your rating.
I've already, I'm changing the rating for the first movie to an 8 from a 7.5, because actually I've been editing the movie.
You're seeing things you never saw.
Seeing things I didn't see. There was things I missed. Obviously, at the end of this, the second wife of Sardar actually phones up and rats on him and arranges this ambush. That changes things. Little things you miss, you're like, that could have been done better. You go back and watch it, you're like, actually, they did do it better, you just didn't fucking see it. You gimp, because you were speaking or looking at the camera. These people are right at times. They actually are right, to be fair. So I'm bumping it up to an 8. And I think once we see the whole experience,
it could change again.
It's not really 2 movies, it's 1 movie split in 2. We'll give an ultimate rating. And we'll take everything into account. But let's get right into it, Stephen. Press play. This is in so much better quality, it's terrifying.
It's great quality. The fact they're lying outside, I think that's amazing.
Yeah. You couldn't do that here.
No.
You'd end up fucking covered in spiders the size of your hand.
And
or wet. I'm sure they've got big spiders over there as well. I daren't even look them up. Danish, you see, that's weird because I always viewed his name as D-I-N-E-S-H, Dinesh. He was supposed to, he get told to stay, didn't he?
Yeah. How clear is that?
It made any fucking difference whether he was with his dad either.
No.
He'd have been killed as well.
Yep.
Stephen, what I loved about this scene was how quiet he is. You've got the 2 sides of the brothers. He's very emotional. He's shouting. The other guy's calculating and looking about and quiet. He's for the watching.
Yep. Wow.
देखिए देखिए पुलिस को कार्रवाई करने दीजिए
ये हमारे अब्बा क्लास है, इनका जनाजा सीधा घर जाएगा। हमारे अब्बू पे कोनो कानूनी कार्रवाई नहीं होगा, मुझे।
We're really seeing a different side to him
Yeah.
here. Wow. Understandably.
Yeah. Is this fucking guy that was singing at the wedding?
Yeah, yeah.
Miming. I know a bad singer, to be fair. There's just something about Navazud though,
Yeah.
he does have that sort of young Pacino
Yep.
vibe. He's a guy who writes for gangster movies.
Yeah.
And he's not even that tall, but he has big presence.
John, we saw him in Sacred Games. His character went from being a gangster to almost a
Spiritual
peaceful
man.
man, but he's went a different direction, and this is the opposite.
Yeah.
You know.
And you wouldn't expect him to have any real connection with the father because his father abandoned him
Yeah.
when they were young. Completely fucked up Fasal's life.
I never understood that, why he went into the background there like that.
Yeah.
पिछले 12 साल में पहली बार अधिकारी लोग सुख की सांस ले पा रहे हैं।
Yeah, you think so?
I think this is where we realised the subtitles were off, John.
Yeah, it was.
So this
yeah.
is all fresh now.
पाँच
जी
5 4 पहली से एक दूसरी से।
So you had 4 from the first wife? Wow, I knew a 3.
Yeah.
अब ये है सरदार खान का 5वां बेटा। नाम का है तुम्हारा?
डेफिनेट
डेफिनेट का है?
कहे कि हमारा मकसद हमको डेफिनेट हो गया है।
का है तुम्हारा मकसद?
सरदार खान की मौत।
सरदार खान तो मर गया।
Don't kill the boy's dream, man.
Yeah. Save a dream. Save the rebellion. I tell you, that food, man.
I can imagine.
Can imagine how good it
Yeah.
smells. How good it tastes. You've got to eat.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. I've ate after some horrific things.
Yeah. You ate during horrific things, John.
Fucking right,
As well.
Yeah.
COVID.
Oh yeah, it has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to. I just don't stop eating. Your body needs sustenance.
Yeah.
You're not going to achieve anything by fucking starving yourself.
Yeah. Lying. Giving into it.
And that's why I was ultimately not as bad as others.
भाईजान के खानदान से है ना?
हमारे खानदान से हो।
और हमारी अम्मी अब्बू
Wasn't as fucking good as others. Some get it easier.
और अम्मी जो भी बोल रही थी
पहले तो खुद ही बोलता था, संजीव कुमार को मार के उसके ऊपर मुतेगा।
Mate, you're gonna get a slap here.
मार दिया।
What's this? Is this a joint? It's a bit of wacky backy.
खोया तो कोनो भी काम परेशानी लेके आ सकता है।
और
तुमको
reef
गांजा
the-
पिला के फजलवा टूल कर दिया। और खुद ही सुल्तानवा को फोन किया था कि आज डॉक्टर बिना आला के जा।
Oh, right. So it was deliberately doped then?
तुम अकल का अंधा, तुम फजलवा से मिलता रहा। देख फजल, दोगला आदमी के साथ दोगला नीति ही अपनाना पड़ता है।
There we are.
Yeah.
This is going to be the making of him.
तुमरा से नहीं हो सकता तो हमरा को बता दो।
But it's interesting because we know for a fact the second wife was involved as well, so there was multiple pieces.
Yeah.
This fucking guy's here. At least he's brushing it to the side now. Jesus Christ. That fringe was just a joke.
नहीं, फजलवा तो बता दे यही मिलेगा। 11 बजे।
टाइम का हुआ?
Not fucking about, I tell you that.
No. So this was a setup.
Yeah. I tell you what though, Stephen, we joke about that little right hand guy. Haircut guy, as we'll call him. But he's the one constant. He was a constant.
Yeah.
Be obviously Sardar's side.
Yeah.
And now he's with the 2 sons.
चल बेटा चल।
Is he thinking about cutting an arm off?
Yeah.
एक बात पूछे?
हाँ,
ये सब काम छोड़ के तुम घर परिवार पे ध्यान नहीं दे सकते हो?
That must feel amazing though.
Yeah. It looks warm.
Yeah. Just how refreshing it would be though.
Yeah.
You know what it's like in a muggy day, John? When you just step into that shower. Amazing.
Yeah.
There's no way this guy can just step away from his life. It doesn't work like that.
नहीं, आपका।
ए समा प्रवीण, हमरा काम में दखलंदाजी मत दो, बुझी?
Comprende? You drinking my sake, Kimu Save?
हम अपना गुस्सा नहीं रोक पाए थे, इसलिए धमकी दिए थे कि मार देंगे। लेकिन वो दिन राजहंस मेंशन में तो हम थे ही नहीं।
फिर आपने सरेंडर क्यों किया?
हम ट्रेन रुकवा के उसमें से लकड़ा उतरवाए तो किसी ने कहा कि गैर कानूनी है। एकरा पहले कि तुमरा को पुलिस पकड़े, तुम खुदे पुलिस में चले जाओ।
500 रुपया जुर्माना देने पर आपको रिहा किया जाता है।
So they're charging him for that, which would mean he wasn't at the scene of the actual crime then, because he was doing this.
Yeah.
That's quite fucking clever, isn't it? So they've charged them with that, so they can't. It's double jeopardy. They can't. They can't do them then. Is that right? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
This fucking bastard. This guy's like a fucking shadow in the night. He just slips in on that fucking bike, man, and starts unleashing chaos. This guy really has to get off of this fucking dope. He's got a fucking demon hash. This guy's a broken man.
Yep.
He really is.
He's going to have to step up.
Yeah, he's going to have to step up because he's the only one that's fucking left.
Good do. It's keeping this guy in business right enough.
Yeah, they are, yeah. Somebody's going to have to slap this Sultan fucking down, man. This guy's getting ahead of himself.
Right.
And as we know at the start of the movie, he's shouting for Faisal, telling him to come out. So obviously he does damage. He's going to have to really mature quick though, because he is he's a fucking smackhead. He's a dopehead. I mean, this guy's lost his father and he's lost his brother in quick succession. It's phenomenal. I didn't expect Dinesh
I
to
didn't
bite the
either.
bullet
I was shocked at that.
that soon. I thought he'd have a big part. This fucking guy in the shadows, this bearded fuck.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
always
he's
there,
with
isn't it?
Sultan.
हमको तो नहीं लगता वो
And he was with him.
वो गांजा से फुर्सत कहाँ कहा होता है अपना जवान लड़का को खोना हमरा पहला औलाद था दानिश
शांत हो जा, शांत हो जा। मैं सब समझ।
कब खून खौलेगा रे तेरा गांजा के नशा में धुत था जब तुमरे अब्बू को मार दिया और अब दिन दहाड़े भाई को मरवा दिया तुमरे हाथ से कब चलेगा रे गोली
His
Well, a lot of
father,
mother to think like that, is it? Normally they
छोड़ेगा अपना गंजेड़ी
go the other way.
his father killed himself with his actions.
अपन आँख तो देख
He was wheeling and dealing, and his brother was out his depth. He was emotional, but he wasn't up to it.
भड़वा तो की अंगुली खाना खाए के चाहिए तो हम
What's this,
खिला
his
देंगे
mum? I can't buy
दूर
that.
कहाँ रहे हो
She looks exactly the same age as him.
Yeah.
काट देते हैं हाथ छोड़ आराम
पागल हो गई कर।
अरे बूढ़े
हाथ छोड़
अरे नगमा पागल हो रही हो।
चुप आप बीच में नहीं बोलेगा
He's sticking up for you.
No, no.
बाप का दादा का भाई का सबका बदला लेकर तेरा फैजल
And I think he will.
हम बता बोले हाँ
Steve, the old lady is. She does look the same age as him. Now, Steve, we spoke about this guy being a sort of Michael Corleone, this movie, and also Michael Corleone starts off clean cut, innocent,
Yep.
baby faced, and by the end of that journey, he's a fucking monster.
Yep.
So I think you're seeing the
John, there was
foreshadowing.
something in part one. He did something, I can't remember what it was, but I just went, whoa, this is Al Pacino.
Yeah.
It just clicked with me.
Maybe in the shooting of that guy
Yeah, it might have been, yeah.
वही जो आप कर
that screwed him over with the guns.
दिन गिन रहे हैं
कहाँ जा रहा है?
That was a nice shot, that. I like that. The way it panned in there, through the smoke.
असगर को साथ लेते जा।
दोस्त है हमरा हम अकेले जाएंगे मुबारकबाद देने।
कहाँ हुआ? कब तक खुद को दोष देती रहेगी?
It's not her fault. No. Just try to talk him out of it.
अरे फैजल, अरे कहाँ थे भाई? हैं? हम चुनाव जीते हैं, जश्न हो रहा है, तुम कहाँ थे भाई?
He's been, you know, grieving his fucking brother dying.
Yeah.
Prick.
They're not going to be laughing for much longer, pal.
ये सब भोसड़े वाले बोलते हैं कि फैजल खान ने दोस्ती में अपने बाप और भाई का बलि चढ़ा दिया। बुढ़िया बोलती है कि हम जन्मे ना होते आज सरदार खान के घर में मातम ना होता।
That's a great shot as well.
Yeah.
This guy does that. He can blink when he's fucking. He inhales it and just gets about his business.
हम तो सोचते थे संजीव कुमार के घर में हम बच्चन पैदा हुए, लेकिन जब आँख खुली देखा साला हम तो शशि कपूर है। बच्चन तो कोई और है।
कौन है?
Yeah. I knew that was going to happen, John. I knew he was warned about him though.
Yeah.
He says, watch who your friends
Ah,
are.
look at the blood spotting,
Yeah.
man. Fantastic.
Is that a fountain?
Yeah. Fucking butchering him, man.
Wow.
Fucking hell, he's dead, mate.
That's like me trying to let down a Lilo on holiday. At the end of the holiday, it takes forever.
Wow. That's going to be the dog in a minute if he farts again. Oh, he's took his head off. Fuck me.
That is some strong shit, you're right. It'll blow your head off. That's like a weird trip that somebody's
Yeah.
on.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there we go. In a bag. The government with a charge of 20 pence for that bag.
फजलू को दिन दहाड़े काटने के बाद फैजल का दबदबा तेजी से बढ़ने लगा। जिस तरह से उसने फजलू को मारा था, लोग उससे खौफ खाने लगे। चोरी के लोहे का अवैध व्यापार करने वाले सारे व्यापारी घबरा गए थे।
Suppose there's another side to it as well, Stephen. If he's on drugs, it's desensitising him. It's taking him about at the moment.
Yeah.
So he
हुआ
can
कहीं
just
कटे,
fucking
कहीं बिके,
becomes
सब फैजल खान के देखरेख में
disconnected.
होता था। और उसकी जानकारी पुलिस को भी रहती थी। सब पुलिस वाले उसके अवैध धंधे को नजरअंदाज करते थे।
That one, a course of action has just changed everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think cutting someone's head off after brutally fucking stabbing them would do that. It'd be fair.
गट्ठे की जमीन पे लोहा गोदाम खोल दिया और उसका धंधा स्थायी हो गया।
I'm loving this little soundtrack
Yeah.
thing going on.
Tell you what, man, I have witnessed an Indian wedding.
Yeah.
It's sort of celebrations, walking down a street with the drums. It is fucking loud.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Proper loud. It's impossible not to fucking get into it. It's contagious. He's turning into Spider-Man. Ah. Look at that fucking glaze there. She's like a fucking statue.
ये गाना बहुत वैसा सा है ना?
I didn't think she knew he was there. I'm not gonna lie. I thought she was in like a fucking trance.
तुम भी तो वैसी हो बिल्कुल।
He's like that.
एक परमिशन लेना चाहते हैं तुमसे, बुरा तो नहीं मानोगे? सेक्स करना चाहता हूँ तुम्हारे साथ।
That was a bit forward, mate.
जूते खाओगे? बहुत हो गए। चलो निकलो, निकलो यहाँ से।
Get the fuck. You think you beheaded somebody that makes you that good, mate? You need to walk. Get the fuck. Back down that fucking way you came as well.
Back down
See
the
how
drain
hard
pipe.
it is to get back down. It's easy getting up, mate.
करण अर्जुन, चलना। करण अर्जुन देख के आते हैं। शाहरुख सलमान दोनों हैं।
Shahrukh and Salman.
तुम गाल नहीं दबाओगे?
माँ कसम नहीं छूऊंगा।
I've heard that side before. And you won't fondle my cheeks.
सट के बैठोगे?
माँ कसम नहीं सकूंगा।
तो अपना अम्मा का साथी जाओ ना, हमारा क्या जरूरत है?
Then you like a there, mate.
अरे किसी को तो संग ले जा, और पीछे से आके मार दे तो?
बुढ़िया, ये धंधे में दो चीजों पे कभी भरोसा नहीं करना चाहिए। एक तो खुद से पैदा होना लिखो।
Fear there's some grey through the hair, I'm noticing.
Yeah.
हमका नाद करना।
I think it's because he looks older. I think it's a moustache.
To be fair, they did say that, though he aged quite prematurely.
Yeah.
Because of the drugs and stuff like that. He looked older than the older brother.
Yeah.
So they have addressed it.
बटन दबाया सारी गोली बाहर मेरे को इसका 15 पीस चाहिए
Oh, lovely shot, that
इसका
is.
12 चाहिए अब पीसी लेके आओ ना
Wow.
I can't believe that.
Time flies, doesn't it, when you're having fun?
क्या होता है इसमें?
This has been good. I've enjoyed this part.
जैसे कि घर पे फोन से फोन करो और बोलो कि भैया ये संदेशा देना है
To be honest with you, this is who I was waiting for.
Yeah.
संदेशा अगर मेरे पास भेज रहे मेरे को संदेशा भेजना है
Yeah, well, that was
कौन
it.
देगा?
अगर किसी को काम है तो
नहीं देगा कौन?
कोई भी मेरे घर वाले दे सकते हैं मेरे दोस्त दे सकते हैं
Not digging that shot, mate, I've got to be honest with you, that's not one of your best.
Oh, look at that.
All those glasses, I had a pair of them about 10 years ago. Didn't suit them.
Roughly when this film was out then, yeah.
Yeah, there was a famous selfie of me with a fly in the shot. What the fuck was that? The cigarettes. It's not quite telepathy with the chewing gum, is it? Or the cigarette and the shot. There he is, taking over the room again, man. Taking over the entire house here. What a fucking maverick he is. Absolute maverick. Took over her as well.
Yeah.
Totally won her round. It's funny how the men of the house are like, yes, yes, you can take my daughter out. You're a great husband. What is it you do as a living? Oh yeah, I take drugs and I just beheaded somebody about a month back. Brilliant. Can't think of a better partner. In you go. Yeah, Ramadir has to be dealt with.
Yeah.
This guy's a fucking snake.
Yep.
How many have you killed?
You get too much to say, pal.
He's going
You're
to shoot you.
defty. I knew it. That's how you send the message across
Yeah.
to the rest of them. Don't bitch about me.
We've killed Fazlu and you now, so there you go.
Oh, look at them. I'm loving this part already, I'm telling you.
हम अपनी अम्मी की कसम खाएं कि आपका लाश उनके पैरों में डालेंगे।
काहे भाई?
काहे कि आपने हमारे अब्बा को मारा।
अगर हम उनको ना मारते तो हमें मार देते।
काहे कि आपने उनके बाप को मारा।
हाँ, तो वो भी तो वही चाहते थे। सारी कहानी वहीं से तो शुरू हुई।
He's not wrong. He's not
It's
wrong.
either kill or be killed situation.
He literally says, and when I kill him, I'll take over the mines.
हमने तो उन्हें इसलिए मारा था कि हम खुद जिंदा रह सकें। बेवजह कौन मरना चाहता है बताओ?
Yep.
Well, not Sardar or fucking... what was the other one? Shahid. They wanted to live as well.
वसैपुर पर तुम राज करो, जो मर्जी चाहे करो, जितना पैसा कमाना है कमाओ।
Don't trust him.
धनबाद प्रशासन तुम्हारा साथ देगा, फिर अगर हमारी आदमी से कोई गलती हो तो हमारा सीना खुला है।
Yeah, but what about Sultan?
हुई तो फिर हमें भी वाजिब कदम उठाना पड़ेगा, तुम्हें बुरा नहीं मानना चाहिए।
अरे आपके बाबूजी वो सबसे हाथ मिला लिए।
Is this JP? Oh, what was his name again, this guy?
वो साला फजलुआ का टुकड़ा टुकड़ा।
Yeah,
Do you remember he was getting called a useless?
I can't remember. I think it was JP.
JP or something like that, yeah.
बाबूजी बोले हैं।
That was amazing.
वो साला हम पे अटैक करेगा तब खुद निपटो।
Fucking hell, it's incredible.
I'll tell you something, he's a great antagonist.
Shall we pause it at that, Stephen?
I think so, man, yep.
We'll pause it at that, because I could literally sit and watch this entire fucking
night,
movie
I
in one
know.
sitting quite easily. It is.
Perhaps
Steve-
if we didn't do a live show.
Yeah, I know, we could have, yeah. Stephen, this is already better than the first movie.
Yeah, it's
no
just-
harm to Manos
yeah.
Pishpai. Or even the guy who played Shahid Khan, but there's just something about Nawazuddin. The guy is, he's got the personality, he's got the presence. You're drawn to him when he's on the screen. And his character, coming
Yeah.
from this tragic upbringing, he was abandoned, he hit the drugs, surrounded himself with this wrong crew, seen as a joke figure. For him to rise from the ashes like a fucking phoenix and become this sort of godfather figure, I think that's just a brilliant story.
John, part 2 is obviously the payoff. That's the bottom line. I think this is what everyone's been waiting for, and I think that's why people probably prefer part 2. But I don't think you can get into part 2, appreciating part 2 without experience the first part and how that story leads to where we're at now. And you're absolutely right.
Again, we're doing it wrong because it's all the one movie.
Well, exactly,
So it's all
John.
great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to get into the nitty gritty, we're actually doing it in probably about 10 parts. So, I just think that maybe the first half of the film, the first half of the story, we'll call that.
This is the middle act.
This is the middle act, and I think you had to get to know these characters. You had to understand the sort of logistics of how these gangs work and how the situation from the very kick-off, because you've got to remember that first opening scene is actually something that happens at the end of the story. So you have to understand why that part of the story began there.
It's a bit like Bahubali for me, Stephen, where it's a 3-act story told over 2 movies, and you've got the Balala Deva character coming up against Bahubali. What was it, Balala Deva? It was up against Bahubali, 2 generations, and this uncle figure, who's obviously got the smaller arm, the deformity, he's playing the sort of Grand Master chess figure. He's almost like Ramadan in this movie.
Yeah.
Balala Deva's like Sultan. And then you've got the 3 generations, fucking Faisal, Dinesh, Sardar, Shahid, coming up against, losing. Someone eventually has to take them on and win. It's almost like Bahubali for me.
I'll say another thing, John, in terms of second part, I should say, is that the pacing's a bit slower as well. I felt that they were getting to the point very quickly in part 1. In terms of
skipping whole years.
Skipping whole years. So we were moving on very quickly, I felt, in part 1, and I think the pacing has slowed down a little bit more, and you can appreciate it. Also, this copy that we've got is
it's
the
much
best copy.
better. Yeah, it's far
you can see it
higher.
a lot clearer, and I think as well the translation's coming across a lot better as well.
Yeah,
with
there's no
these
bungholes here.
subtitles.
No, Stephen, look, again, I'm enjoying this tremendously. I love these kind of movies anyway. I love the genre. It's almost like a fucking western meets a gangster movie. It's brilliant. Really enjoying the acting. And I just think some of the shots, you mentioned one of the shots, sort of tracking shot zoomed in. I always forget the guy's name, but he's a sort of guy who was with Shahid all those years ago. He actually saved Sardar. It tracks into him. Also when Faisal's smoking the pot. Some brilliant shots. The moment his friend gets done in, Fazlou.
But John, you knew that was. I'm not saying you knew it was coming at that moment, but you knew it was going to come soon, because it had to give. Something had to make him snap.
Yeah.
You know, and he had to take actions into his own hands as well. And that was a great scene. It was shocking, but it was great.
It was brilliantly shot as well.
Because you knew at that point, that was the tipping point. You knew after he did that act, he would never be the same after it. You know, and you knew things were going to move on.
But it's a nice way to get round the gore as well, Stephen. It's gory, you're seeing the blood spurting, you're seeing the head.
And the sound.
But the way they silhouetted it from behind, it's a dark scene.
It's a good way of getting around the rating system.
It's a good way of getting around the rating system, so that was intelligent, the way they crafted that. But then we've had people saying that this is definitely more gory. And we can see that already. It's definitely more gory. So I'm loving it, man. I can't wait to see the rest of this movie. Thanks again to the community for bailing us out the shit and allowing it to happen, because it would have been a tragedy if we'd only seen half a movie. thankfully.
We can't have that. We're completists.
Well, fuck, we certainly. I'm not a completist outside of this, but I certainly am in it. So, fucking TV shows are still not finished. 10 years later,
we'll be
Millennium,
reviewing them, John, just so
Red Dwarf.
you can see them. Yeah.
One episode. Couldn't finish it. But Steve, look, that's going to round it up, man.
Yeah.
That's the first part of Gangs of Wasseypur Part 2. What the fuck happened there? What the hell was that? What's your thoughts on this first 35 minutes or so, or 30 minutes of Part 2? What was your thoughts on the transformation of Faisal, of Nawazuddin's performance, of Sultan, of Ramadir, of our reaction, watch along, whatever you want to call it? Share your thoughts down below if you've got anything to say about that. Anything at all can go down below in the comment section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyeballs for all the other 4 parts of this reaction to this second movie that are surely going to come with not a hiccup.
That you can see early on Patreon.
That you can see early on Patreon, 1 day early access on Patreon. Regardless of what you do though, thank you for watching us once again, or for the first time if you're just coming. And until the next time, me and Stephen are done. Bye bye.